hanging out with D.
Good morning. Drinking coffee.
His first name is Damian. His middle name is D. Wait, cool train shot. Let's get it. And that went all right. Oh, no, there it goes. So Damian's a church planner. And he's also part of the Church Multiplication Network.
Church Multiplication Network, CMN. Let's go.
So, how many church plants have you been a part of now?
So, so in 2013 we started River City Church, and we started River City Church in the Fox River Valley area in
Illinois.
Yes, Illinois. It's like the far west Chicago suburbs. I thought the vision at that point, it might still come together, was to plant churches up and down the Fox River, and that's why if it was River City Church, it would fit into whichever community along the river.
So your goal from the beginning wasn't just the one fellowship.
Yes.
It was River City to be River City up. Okay, that's cool. I get that.
Yes,
like
yep.
you're hitting a name that people know, they identify with the area, they can connect with. Cool. All right. Yes. Tell me more.
So, but then as going along, you're as a church planner, you're you don't know what you don't know. You're a bit naive. You're full of faith. That's what it takes to jump out. Your naivety. You're full of faith. You're thinking it's all just going to come together so quick, and some of them do, and some of them it's a long run. So, super excited. This last year is after being 6 years old, we sent out our first church plant. Now they went with their own name, Hope Culture Church, just north in Elgin, and so it's not so much about the name and the brand, but now it's just like this network of people together. Now we have started a Spanish service in our church, and then also we are partnering with a guy in Logan Square, and which is downtown Chicago, very artsy community. Got another guy that's starting two other guys that are hanging out. One wants to plant in the city and one wants to plant in Aurora. So just kind of taking time, shaping, developing, pouring into them. So who knows? The future looks bright.
So bright, I gotta wear shades.
Yes.
I know with a lot of people who are in maybe, so you went from nothing to launching already a couple of more churches, not just your own. That can only be done if you're pouring into people. What would you say is one facet that you've used to be able to make people feel welcome at home, become leaders enough that you trust them with a church plant? Like what's your thinking into that?
All right, good question. So, it has bit me in the butt a few times, is that I trust people until they give me a reason not to trust them. A lot of people, like, they say, I'll trust you once you give me a reason to trust. And I still just have this tendency of, like, we always say, like, we believe in you. We believe in, like, we just sent a worship leader out. Like, as sad as it was to send him out, it's like, we believe in him, not just what he does for the church. Like, we're for people, not for their role. And I've told a lot of our team many times, like, even when I was a youth pastor and others, of like, we don't want to build this ministry and then we look around one day and there's all these dead bodies that we built it on top of. We wore people out and just took advantage of their gifts and abilities. And in the end, they were used for us to climb on top to build some ministry. And I did not ever want that. So
you're building people, not using people. That might be a really good place to start when you're playing church.
Yes, you're building people. And because I had been on the other end where ministry leaders, pastors were not open-handed and kind of holding people tight and holding like they owned them, and your ministry had to fall under theirs and stuff. And and honestly, and I saw whenever it was ministry, we try to hold people like this, like they're ours, they're Jesus's. We just hold them like this, and we just get to steward them for a season, and we pass them on to others. It's like they're not ours to hold. So the more we have an open hand, the more people come in, and the more people we send out.
What would you say to someone watching this who wants to plant a church? What's the most important thing?
I would say, depending on where you are in your journey, is first serve someone else's vision and fall under someone else for a season. As hard as and difficult as you have things in your heart, there's things to learn from someone else, and there is something about being blessed to go out under someone else's blessing, under someone else's covering. is a really big thing.
So you're not flying solo. You connect with people. You do family, and then that makes you stronger when you go out.
Relationship, for sure, and someone that you know that you love their DNA. Now, is there going to be things that you struggle with? Of course. Is there going to be things that you would, if you were in charge, you would do different? Yes, of course. But take a season doing that, and then just other things is love the community that if God calls you to a community, love that community. They were in LaSalle this week. I don't love LaSalle. I drove there and I'm like, okay, I do one thing in LaSalle. We go on this hiking trip and we come home. We go there once a year. Not a fun town, not my town. I love my town. I love the events. I love the things that happen in our town. So I think that God gives you a burden for a community that you're not, and just, it's not just reaching Christians. It's not just doing church. It's being in the community is where it is. So, and that's just been a benefit of ours is first, when we came into town, we couldn't get venues to meet in, couldn't get places. We started serving the town, and quite honestly, by the first Easter, it was like, honestly, the city of Batavia had given us the keys of the city. In some ways, we had keys to 3 different buildings in the city that they owned for our Good Friday service, for an outreach we were doing, and for our Easter service. And so, both spiritually and physically, they gave us the keys to the city. So if you serve, they will, if they see your heart, that you're for them, not just trying to get, I don't know, just like trying to get.
You're there to make deposits, not withdrawals.
There you go.
And then when you make deposits, you earn interest, I guess, and they just see that and they bless you back. Damian, he relentlessly pursued me for 2.5 years in high school, which led to my salvation. Hey, thanks for that.
And Jesus had you marked whether it was me or not.
He's so humble. Can you see that humility is flowing? Lead pastor, River City Church in St. Charles. If you're watching it in the Chicago area, go check them out. Amazing family, amazing worship. Hey man, thanks for taking us to the airport.
Yes.